Hello sexy beasts and welcome back to War Thunder. April Fools is here and we have the event up. And, as many predicted, it is indeed aliens and UFOs. No nuclear cannons. Yeah, sorry about that, my last video was indeed an April Fools. I tricked you, didn't I? Well, a great deal of you, not everyone. Anyways, this is just going to be a very quick video explaining the controls, so you can actually play the event a bit more effectively. If you go into controls, you can see a new tab here in all this weird alien language. Someone, by the way, has found out the translation of this. I'll leave a link in the description down below if I can find that. So you can translate it yourself and welcome to this video. I want to show you what you can do with this. So, the alien UFOs kind of behave like helicopters in a way, but much more fluid and they can move in every direction pretty freely. You have your basic WASD, W and S move forward and backwards, A and D move left and right, pretty much like a helicopter in hover mode really. You do have to keep an eye out on inertia and stuff like that, but generally speaking it is quite easy to fly these things. Then you have the thrust vector up and down. By default these are bound to R and F, but this is a bit awkward to try and handle when you're trying to do all the other maneuvers. So I just bound mine to Control and Shift. This is to go up and down. Then fire is pretty standard, left mouse button fires either the lasers or the railgun depending on your mode. In the air you always have the laser gun available. If you switch on to hover mode, which is bound to G by default, and by the way also activates the shields. You lose the railgun, you lose the laser gun, but you actually gain railguns. And if you are underwater, you fire like a shotgun spread of railguns. So the weapons automatically change depending on the situation of your spacecraft. And yes, you heard it right, you can go high up in the air, you can go hovering around the ground with the shield on, or you can even go underwater with these things. Finally, you have the torpedoes. I was lucky and was able to actually try them when the event started, but for some reason they don't seem to be working right now. They are a bit buggy. These are essentially very slow ATGMs. You can only fire them when you are directly looking at an enemy that's in close proximity. Otherwise they just don't fire, and after firing them you get the camera view onto the torpedo. It follows the torpedo around and you can aim it with the mouse, pretty much like an ATGM. Except that, well, it doesn't seem to be working right now. And I have no idea what locking target for the torpedo does either. Bound mine to middle mouse button, but since I haven't been able to fire any more torpedoes, yeah, I have no idea what these do. Anyways, let's quickly go into a battle and let me show you the UFOs. The new map, which by the way there will be a custom battle up later today that I will be streaming, where you can explore the map in your tanks, helicopters, aircraft, ships, whatever you want really. This map is really quite gorgeous. And we're going to see if we are lucky. And maybe fire the torpedoes. Alright, there we are. Welcome to Independence Day, I suppose. You have the main city over there, you can also see a red dome. The parts that are red you can't actually fly or fire through, but there's the little strip of green underneath that you can indeed go through. Even in aircraft in custom battle modes. Now I am going to show you a little underwater cave, which is where the sea flag is. It's right underneath this island here. With a shipwreck and everything else. Oh god, that's a wall. And there you go, we actually have an underwater cave here. So this is quite interesting, and those lines already appear by default. Even if you turn off the interface, you can still see the lines. But this is actually quite an interesting little thing here, because they actually developed the underwater a bit more. Which indicates to me that... oh god, shotgun, railgun. There we go. These are pretty much one-shot kills as well. Which kind of indicates to me that we are going to be seeing submarines sometime soon. Like, we already had the submarine mechanics from last game, last April Fools, and it seems to be developed even more now. As you can see, underwater it turns the guns into shotguns essentially, shotgun railguns with a one-shot kill. Let's try and go above the water here. Come on, I have to fight inertia. When you go above the water you get access to a proper railgun with pretty much no cooldown whatsoever. Pretty good range, you have to keep your crosshair right on the target. It's an instant travel by the way, so you don't have to compensate for a lead. And finally, let me go into the city bit here. When you press G, you activate hover mode, which gives you a shield, which makes you pretty much invulnerable to lasers but not to railguns. Also makes things a lot easier here trying to navigate this area, and you get access to a railgun, which doesn't need lead. And is a one-shot kill against anyone who doesn't have a shield on. I believe the railgun is also the only way to kill an enemy with a shield, because the lasers don't seem to have any effect on shielded enemies. As you can see, we can also not fire out. The railgun just gets intercepted by the dome. Let's quickly go out of hover mode and let's explore the city a little bit. This city is really quite detailed and really quite nice. As I said, I will be hosting a custom battle where you can explore this whole city with your helicopters, your tanks, whatever really. You can go with ships, you can do with anything. Any vehicle you have, you can play around in it. And it's really, really, really quite nice. You can see also the overpass, that used to be a highway. Lots of cars and stuff here. Even though you can't really damage them this way, you can actually run over them with the tank. I've tried doing that before. Finally, let's just check out the landmarks here, which sadly are not an indication for Chinese infiltration, even though they are Chinese buildings, like this one and that one. But let's see if we can actually land on this. Come on. And yes. Yes, we can. No landing here, sadly, but that's close enough. So, lads, this is pretty much everything you need to know. Now you know the controls for the April Fool's event. As I mentioned, I'm going to be hosting a custom battle with this map, so if you don't want to play around with UFOs themselves and just want to derp around with your own vehicles, you can do that. Just search the custom battles, there should be multiple up. And I will see you on the stream very soon over on twitch.tv/MikeGoesBoom. As always, lads, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. If you're new around here, subscribe. My name is MikeGoesBoom, and I'll see you soon.